Sorry. Good? Okay, so what were our struggles and what have you been doing?
Our struggles were my neutral position.
Okay.
And he was having a hard time staying in the trot.
Okay.
Braking.
Okay.
Side.
Yep.
And when I came to practice, I thought, after I watched the video, I thought that if I maybe used my carrot stick, I might be better at staying in neutral.
Okay.
And keeping him out a little bit.
And that has worked?
We had a rough practice.
Okay. You said he was high alert?
Yeah, he was kind of like, oh.
Yeah.
And just so... He wanted to trot, but he was not. I wasn't asking him to do it, and I was just.
Excuse us.
Yeah, that's itchy stuff, huh? And now, do you usually allow that? He kind of caught me off guard there.
Yeah, he caught both of us off guard. He had done this once before when we fly sprayed him.
Yeah.
And he usually needs to do both sides. I'm impressed that he's decided, okay, never mind. No, you're not doing another one. The reason I wouldn't allow it now is because we came into work, we're going to work, right. But I allow it as a reward. Like, okay. My horse knows as soon as he's done and his saddle's pulled off, he's allowed to roll. So, but he's not allowed to roll prior, he's just going down. You already did that side. He's got to do the other side. So in this case, because obviously he's already just committed to it, we're just going to let him do it. But oh,
you're stepping on your rope.
There you go.
Yeah, you're going to be okay. Relax. Oh.
So now, if for some reason he started to panic, I would have dropped the rope versus grab it to where when he went to pull back, it was hooked on his knee, underside of his knee, and then that would have panicked him more. So, but he did fine.
His owner told me that he was trained with things like that.
Okay, to move to pressure.
Desensitized.
Okay.
Having ropes around his leg.
Good.
So
Yeah,
I didn't.
That's the first thing I do. I drop the ropes all the time. Okay. Like tangling their legs, I don't care.
Right.
Yeah,
Let them deal with
I prefer they learn. Okay, so let's go ahead and see. He's done rolling now. We're not going to allow any more.
So I'm going to grab my stick.
Okay. Good. And I believed that you told him to step back, and then you went friendly. So that's good, because I believe that that's what he responded to. And
Yes.
good.
I noticed that too. Like, I didn't mean to, but I did.
Oh, okay. Because it was very at him. So for him to respond that way, it looked like it was a command.
He did the right thing.
Yes.
Okay. So, do we start with a walk? Or?
Yes. And the walk is always harder. Sometimes they trot because they just don't really understand the circle, but he's starting to understand the circle enough now that I think a walk shouldn't be difficult for him.
Out. Out.
Yeah, that was the other thing we were having trouble with, right? Was he wasn't establishing the out. And if he's willing to use that whole line, let him have the whole line.
Walk. Walk.
Now remember, we've been telling him to do the head down thing.
Out. Okay.
So that's something to take a note of.
Okay. Out.
So he's actually being good right now.
Yep.
So go ahead and ask for the trot just to give him something to do with that.
Out. Out.
So now what I'm going to have you do is I'm going to have you kiss twice, then you're going to kiss twice a second time, and now you're going to try to tag the ground where his tail is. If he's in the way of it, then you tag him.
Okay.
So I'm only going to allow some of those faces a little bit longer before I'm going to have you do something about them. Because that's the third time, actually, he's offered you that face. And it's kind of like, oh yeah? Good boy. Good boy.
Boy.
So now tag his shoulder. Yep. Good boy. So now a single kiss to keep him going if you think he's going to break. Good. So that wasn't a nasty face until now, but he originally was just asking a question. And I would say because your answer had a strong answer, I think he was offended by it. So I don't want to excuse the faces by any means, but I do understand why that face came, because it wasn't original. Good boy. It's good if he gets in his bind, he turns and looks at you. Okay, so before you send him back out, I'm gonna take your stick from you for a second. Did you tape it up? I'm not gonna take him. I'm gonna just take your stick for a second. So as he's going around, let's just say that panel is his body, and that end of that panel is his tail, and you've asked for the trot there, and now his tail is there. You're gonna try to tag his tail. Okay, so don't hold the stick like this, because if you do that, you could potentially, catch him in places you don't want to catch him. So I would ask him to go. If you have to tag him, you tag him. And if he turns and faces you like, oh yeah, then you point and then you tag his shoulder, because he's going to turn and face you. So now you have to direct it. That you're gonna chase him here into the trot, and then when he kind of challenges you, you're gonna say, I don't think so, and demand that his shoulder go back out. But watch that you don't accidentally get him in the face. And I only hold this stick like this if I'm asking him to back up, and then I'm snapping him in the chest that way. But otherwise, I hold the stick like that.
Okay.
Good boy. Did you tell him to leave? Good. That's a nice question. Now tell him, because he's asking. Good. So you want to be ready to have an answer when they ask you polite. When you're ready, ask for the trot. Yep. Good. Yep. So watch for his pattern and then try to interrupt it. So he trots through here, then he breaks up there. So just, yep, just one kiss to keep going. So he's been allowed to stay up there at a walk, so now we're going to make sure we get him trotting all the way through there. So that's going to be your goal, get him to trot through there. So you always want to just set little goals. You can have a big goal, and then as things go wrong, you set littler goals. Now, add a shoulder, add a shoulder, add a shoulder. Okay, the timing's off. That's okay. It has to be kind of like when he meets you with that attitude, you say, yeah. When he says, oh yeah, you say, yeah. Bring it, bud. And this way, he'll say, okay, never mind. You want to be able to back up your kick. There you go. Good. Now put your hand in neutral if you can. Good. Raise it now to encourage him to keep going. Good. Yep, that was polite. It was just a question. That was a little less polite. He does do a little pop-up when he starts his trot. He does it kind of anyway, even if he's out by himself. So it's a little quirk he's got. So a little pop-up's not actually rude or whatever. It's like a little thing he has.
Absolutely. I didn't ask for that yet.
See, I wish he'd offer a little bit more attitude so we can really justify getting after him for it. It's just, it's like a teenager, but it's not enough to really get aggressive at him about it, and there's kind of no medium yet. So it's like, we gotta wait till he really decides he's gonna try to back that up. So his pattern, he pops up into the trot right about here, and then he starts to look at you, sometimes politely, sometimes rudely. Then he kind of gives you another little look here, like, are you paying attention? And it really is more like, are you paying attention, because I'm planning on doing my own thing as soon as I get up here. Then once he gets up here, he's like, yeah, I'm done. And then he's like, oh, you again? All right. So we want to have him where we can interrupt pretty much all of it. The only thing that's good is like that little spot right there. The rest of it, and then he will put his head down prior to checking in to see if you're paying attention. We're going to want to ask for the trot there. If he picks up the trot, release him to let him know that's all we're looking for, bud. Mm-hmm. So this way we could say, finally you got the right answer. Now we're going to try to build off of that. And then we're going to ask him to hold it longer till he's there. So we're going to try to, let's just say he holds it to there and then he lifts his head and he starts to ask you a question, but maybe it's not polite. Just kind of put your hand up, and if he's still trotting. There he's going to break. So there I would definitely raise my, like if you put your hand up there and he kind of settles back into, all right, fine, I'll keep trotting, then you can lower your hand as quickly as you can so that way he knows that's the answer. But he's going to try to break here again. So that's where I would raise my hand and kiss once to say, don't think about it. Because if you allow him to get down to the walk every time, then that pattern is going to be hard to break. So we'll go ahead and right about, not the window with the frisbee, the one before it or even the one before it. That's where you're going to make sure that you start to interrupt this, because this is a pretty solid pattern now.
Okay. I was thinking about asking him to start over here.
You can.
Okay.
Or you can even ask him to start, at that first window.
Okay.
So that way it's right before he would normally have a problem.
Okay.
You say, you know what, let's start it there and let's interrupt the whole pattern. So you could do that too. Let's see which Either one should work. Good boy. That was nice, because before he didn't wait for instructions. So, gold star. Tag his butt. Good. Good boy. Yeah, that's close to needing to be corrected. So he's gonna, and if he does, oh good, 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 good. Now reward him. Go ahead and release him. Release him, especially where he's normally good. Good.
Boy, you did it.
Good.
I was just gonna hand you over.
Value in, see how like when he came through here, he actually thought to put his head back down. Like he was actually thinking about, oh wait, I know this game. That's why you want to reward him, is you want to reward him when he goes, I think I know there's another part to this. And he went to put his head down, and then he raised it back up because he's getting to where he likes to throw an attitude. So we wanted to get him right in here to say, before you get an attitude, I want to tell you how great you've been. Okay, and then we're going to try to interrupt his need, because that last attitude he gave you was close to needing to be fixed. Because he's escalating it a little bit.
Yeah.
So, yep. And then every time you reward him, if he thinks there's an end to your game, he's going to be more than happy to keep doing it. Good boy. Yep. Yep. Reward him now. Reward him now, because he's been such a jerk through there. Good. Because see, if you saw, when he got right about here, he's like, I'm used to being kind of snotty right here. He's like, you know what, I don't really feel like it. And then he settled in. He kept kind of a snotty 13-year-old face, but he didn't give it to you. You know, he kind of kept it like, this really sucks. But he didn't look at you that way. So that's why I wanted you to reward him, because we had so much trouble through here.
Okay.
So that's what you want to do anytime that you really have a struggle like that, especially on a circle, because circles are easy. Then you can really pick them out. And same thing, like you can pick out where your problems are in your arena. Fixing those problems will fix all of it.
Okay.
And just learning your pattern. So that was, I bet you'll have a real nice next, and then you can probably even start to ask for the head down, or we'll change directions. Because we haven't gone the other way. Oh yeah, we did. We have gone the other way.
Not today.
But I'm thinking we never went the other way, but we did. Nice light backup. Yeah, nice face. He's kind of looking over you, but that's okay. Like it's still a nice face. He actually thought about putting his head down up there. Good boy. Oh, look at that. Good boy. Yep. Yep. At his shoulder, at his shoulder. Good. Now you got his attention. Now tell him what to do. So give him something to do with that energy. Good. Now let's see if we have that again. Good. There. Now reward that, because his ears were up. Unfortunately, he tripped, but that's okay. Reward him there. Reward him. Good. Good. Okay, so I know maybe you didn't hear me, but I wanted you to reward him up here, because he went from being a jerk to totally putting his ears forward. So, like, believe it or not, you can make a horse that pins his ears on a circle all the time, all of a sudden be a horse that has his ears up the whole time, just by correcting nasty faces and rewarding the good faces. So when he put his ears up, that's when I would have said, yes, see, because you've been struggling.
Right.
So go ahead and see so look for anything, and I don't care if it wasn't when I said, if you felt that was a real positive change in what you've been struggling with, stop him, let him know. And do it as politely as you can, as so it's a reward, not a punishment.
Yeah, I was just like in watching him.
Yeah. No, I get it. Good? So just so you know, you said the word wait, and then you said one, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
So if he had not moved, he would have been good.
Walk.
Good?
I do not.
Just tell him what to do.
Walk. Walk.
So he got himself kind of spun out there, like emotionally. So had you just raised your hand and stayed focused on what you wanted him to do, it would have helped him.
Well, I didn't ask him to trot.
No, I know that, but you did want him to walk, right?
Walk.
So there, now raise your hand and say, but I do want you to walk.
Walk.
Good, now leave him alone. So as fast as you can say, but you still need to be doing something. Yep.
Walk. 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 Walk.
He's like, I don't know. I guess I'll even just, good, now tell him what to do. Now tell him what to do.
Walk.
Yep.
Walk. Walk.
So as soon as he looked in at you and broke down to that walk, that's when you would want to say, yes, but keep walking, please. Because you were having a hard time getting him to focus. And then once you were able to get him to look at you, that's when you would, so like, right, no.
Walk. Walk.
So like right now, put your hand up and say, keep walking.
Walk. Walk.
That's a little bit of a timing thing. So he's going to keep doing it right here.
Walk.
So maybe get ahead of it. So right here, he's got the trot.
Walk. Walk.
So I would say easy. Say easy. Easy. Yep. And now that he's trotting, we would walk him. So you'd say easy to kind of keep him from changing gait. There you go. That was better timing. See how he asked you and you said, but keep walking? That was much better timing. Because before you had too much time to change gears completely. There you go. Perfect. So now just get ahead of it here. Even stop him. Go ahead and stop. There. Good. You interrupted it. Good.
You want to take a
Sure.
shot at it? I'm going to let a professional try here, Charlie.
Thanks. Good boy. Good boy. Stay there. Hey. Walk. Good. No. No. Keep walking. Good. No. Keep walking. No. Keep walking. No. Keep walking. I know. I'm trying to help you. Good. No. Walk. Go ahead. You don't have to go sideways. Good. Walk. 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 You're doing fine. You're doing fine. No. You're doing fine. Now, that's not necessary. Walk, please. There. That's it. You're right. Go ahead. You're right. Gentle. Nice. You got this. You got this. You're okay. No. No. I know. You want to check in, but I need you to listen. There. Keep walking. You're okay. No. You're going to get this. Good. No. Walk. 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 You're going to get this. Good. Walk. 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 Stop assuming. Stop assuming. Doing to make it easier for you. Yep. You're getting it. You're getting it. You're getting it. Go ahead. No. Walk. 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 So my neutral had to get real neutral to help him. He's not ready yet. He'll probably still mess up, you know, but leave. No, see, you just went right into autopilot. You need to listen. So now I'm going to be real gentle. And the reason I'm not going to leave him out there too long is because he gets be doing, and that's why he tries something different. I'd love it if he went. It'd be nice, because he needs to come off of some of that. So I'm going to real gently ask again. And then I'm going to try to stay as neutral as I can. He does pull me coming that way, but good boy. Good boy. So now he's back on a thought pit. You know, he's like he's thinking again. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. And because I've been stopping him here, I'm not going to stop him here. I'm going to stop him when he lowers his head all the way again. Head down. Head down. So my looking at him might put pressure on him again. You had a little bit of trouble, didn't you? Yeah. So now I'm going to test him. But you're probably thinking, well, now can you trot him again and get him to walk again? So I'm going to test him and see if we have that clear. For the trot where he's been wanting to trot, me now following him might add pressure anyway. So I'm going to ask him to trot right here. Good boy. And then I'm going to ask him to walk. 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 And I deliberately let him go through that area because I didn't want him to pick up a pattern. I'll ask for it there. Where he struggles the most, I'm going to ask for that walk again. Walk, walk, walk. I'm right there because he struggles the most. Nope, you almost had it. You almost had it. Nope, nope. Nope, good boy. You got it. So I'm going to let him be right at the trot for a few seconds. Just so he's been like asked to trot and then shut down, asked to trot, shut down. So my neutral is extremely important right now to help him. So like I'm staring at the ground. When I'm ready, I'm going to step kind of in front of him. And I'm going to ask him for the walk. That was hard for you, wasn't it? That was hard. So what happens is he gets himself, and I know I've used the airplane and the airplane description, but nobody ever understands the movie reference. I got to come up with another one, but that's the only one I can think of. So he really needed like us to get in line and slap him until he calmed down. So sometimes you got to really get in there and interrupt him. And if it keeps getting like how it got worse and worse and worse, and then finally, I spun him out a bunch of times to where he's like, well, then what do you want? Right. Then he was ready to listen. So sometimes you have to have it kind of go even worse than it was going before it'll get better. Okay. So let's see if you got... Okay. Now it's real light now. So you're probably not going to need the stick at all.
I have to be careful not to yell with my hand.
Yes. Yeah, because you still time with your hand up in the air after you tell him. So that could potentially be hard for him again. So practice your neutral is literally like staring. I was literally staring at the ground and just keeping an eye on him in my peripheral. Okay. So I'll look at him when I ask him to go. Okay. And what I did so he understood the lightness of the walk because he was recognizing this as go. So I just gently pointed and wiggled 2 fingers at his shoulder. And that was enough to get him to walk. There's your lick and chew. It took a while, but that's good that finally showed up. I'd really love it if he blew out. That would be, or took a really big deep breath. Good. Good. Now that was nice because he started to assume and then he changed his mind. Of course, then he did go ahead and assume, but so get ahead and get him turning to you still. Like yield the hind end away because he's still on his path. There you go. So like that, if he had been allowed to leave from that position, then you would have presented him with some gray. This means till further instruction. So I would probably be careful with the support of the other rope, with the popper side. He does pull a little bit right there, but Ask him up by the barn. Good. Good. Now ask for the walk, just so we can get that transition with you guys. Good. But you're going to ask, yep, okay, yep, good. So in a case like that, I would ask for my walk and trot transitions at the same spot. So that way the pattern isn't a single pattern, it's a double pattern. So if you chose here to ask for the trot, and he nicely picked up the trot, and here, but next round is the trot here. So that way he doesn't keep making
The assumption that one place is trot, one place is
yes, walk. Yeah. And in his case, it's gonna help solidify this language for him. He's having a little bit of time. He wouldn't stay trotting. Now he couldn't, stop trotting. So like he's really having a hard time understanding it. Good. Good. And ask for the walk there. Good. And then go neutral. Go back to staring at the ground. Yep. Ask for the trot. So like your goal now would be to get a sharper trot. And now ask for the walk. When you ask for it, there's a bomber now. And then maybe even one time let him trot, make him trot through there. You know what I mean? So like mix it up on him so he doesn't develop too much of a pattern. Just have that be where you ask for something each time. So sometimes I use cone markers, and I'll do something at each cone, which that might be even an option to do today. Good. And then this time ask him for the walk. Good. Oh, I got 3. Good. That was good timing. So if you feel that he's really responsive, be a good place to reward.
To reward him by the cone?
No. When you said walk and he broke down right to the walk as you asked, I would have let him walk maybe 3 steps just to establish the walk, and then I would have done what you did. I would have rewarded him. I would have said, that's right, because his timing was good. His trot was picked up at the right time.
Maybe just a little bit sooner than I did. Reward him.
Yeah, yep. It would have just been like once you felt that the walk was slightly established, so that way you knew he understood it was a walk, not a stop, and then that way he could understand that it was just responding to you when you said is why he's being rewarded. Okay, so at each cone we're going to do something different.
Okay.
Good boy. All right. You're okay. I'm going to say the trot at that cone, he has a hard time, so it's going to be a struggle for you both to get him to walk at this cone.
Okay.
And then stop him at that cone.
Okay.
Walk him from that cone to that cone, trot. trot to walk. I mean,
Trot,
walk.
Stop.
Yep.
Okay.
And then walk again, trot.
I'm gonna do it just a second.
Yeah, yeah. And now walk. So it's going to be fair, more fair to him, the faster. So it's going to be like a goal for you to create fairness for him. So getting the trot for the walk instead of him taking 3 trotting strides and then get corrected back down to the walk.
So he's doing it right in that spot again.
And then at that cone, we're going to hoe. Yep. Yeah, I mean, this is a little more, you know, I could do 2 cones and give you something to do it, just 2 cones, because this is a little bit more, I don't want to say advanced, but, you know, there's a little more to think about for both of you. So maybe we'll do hoe here because he's starting that pick up my trot pattern again there.
Okay.
So that would be where you would hoe, and we're going to try to hoe him.
So hoe here.
And then I'm going to have you trot him from a hoe to that cone.
And
then walk him from that cone to a hoe.
To a hoe. Okay. So when I get there, I'm going to ask for. Did I ask for that?
He's starting to look good too. Put on a nice bit of weight already.
When I get to that cone, I'm going to ask for the walk.
Yes, so the bright orange cone is walk to the cone near me, then stop at the cone near me, and then trot off from the cone near me all the way to the bright orange one where you're going to break him back down to the walk. Good. And then this would be hoe. Good. It's okay. You guys will get to where it'll become a comfortable pattern.
Okay.
Yep. Good. So now what you're going to do is you're going to see where your weaknesses are. My weaknesses, my hoe is kind of a, oh, okay. So you want your hoe to be like a, yes ma'am, okay. Then you want your trot to be he does that little pop-up thing. So you can get that from a stand, because this is where he cuts in. Ask him the best you can to get him out from that trot. So I would send him from that hoe, send him to the woods, you know, so that he understood his shoulder had to fit on this one.
Okay.
And then start thinking walk at this window. Start asking for it at this window and expect it by this window. Okay, but as you start to think it, he's going to pick up on your energy is going to change.
Okay.
And then have him, and then go as neutral as you can to have him walk from that one to the next. Okay. You want to sharpen your hoe and to use...
Widen my circle.
Yep.
Okay.
That's okay. Now that you still have an opportunity to work on your hoe.
Oh.
And don't make it his problem. Make it a language on your, you know, just where could I say it clearer? So he understands it, he's just not understanding it in a sharp way.